Why, hello. Midway Piper here. I hope all is going well. Happy 4th of July. It is very bright and sunny here. We had some serious flooding rain last night, but you wouldn't know it this morning. I went out to weed my garden some, and a tree branch had fallen on the fence a while ago, and I never got around to repairing it, but the deer seemed to be leaving things alone until lately. So I did some weeding at a repair section of fence. So productive, but not the relaxing morning I was hoping for. Housekeeping. This is the Morgan Bones Squat Rhodesian. Cool scar there on it. It's a little nose warmer. And in it, I haven't had this in a long time, and it's taken me by surprise. Some velvet. Some velvet. Kind of like almost aromatic. I don't remember that. Granted, I opened the pouch and then shoved it pretty much right in here after one or two smokes, so it's certainly been a while. But I was very surprised when I opened the lid at how aromatic it was. And moist. It stayed very moist. Took a little while to get this thing going. If you see some extra smoke going on, I've got my grill going on over there. So that's what that is. Boom. All right. It's Friday. That means pipes and books. So I'll share with you what I've read, what I've been reading, what I'm gonna read, all that good stuff. So I only finished one book this week. I'm almost done with the second one, but Psychology of Money. This is a great book. Anyone that has anything to do with money, whether you make it, whether you spend it, whether you save it, invest it, doesn't matter. A lot of great stuff in that book. Highly, highly recommend it. And it's fine on Audible as well. So it's a finance book that you can listen to without formulas and all that stuff. So one more time, The Psychology of Money. Highly recommend this one. All right. That's all I read last week. It's the only book I finished last week, I should say. So I'll move on to what I'm currently reading. I showed you this book last week. I think I got it last week at least. Poor Charlie's Almanac. Whole bunch of interviews, life sayings, tons of stuff about Charlie Munger, who was the more silent partner of Berkshire Hathaway. Some would argue that he was a lot of the brains behind the success of Berkshire Hathaway. Obviously, Warren Buffett, well-deserved as well. But some would say that Warren Buffett probably would not be as well known had it not been for Charlie Munger. So the silent partners are almost always a little more interesting than the ones who are up front and center. Warren Buffett is definitely much more of the talker of the two. But Charlie passed away earlier this year, I think. Maybe late last year. Just before his 100th birthday. What a shame. but certainly a fulfilling life nonetheless. All right, you ready for a change of pace? We're done with finance books, I think. Yeah, we're done with finance books. So what I'm currently reading, physical read, audio read, Brad Thor's Edge of Honor. There's the man. This is, if you're not familiar, he writes geopolitical thrillers. And this is part of the Scott Harbath series, essentially. This is... I have all the books in the series. This is definitely in the late teens, if not 20s, of the series. And like I said, I've got them all, so. About 3/4 of the way done with this book. It's pretty good. All the books sort of fit a bit of a formula. I'm not as into thrillers anymore at this point, but it's still a nice little throwback. And you don't have to remember every little thing that happened in the previous books to be able to jump back into one of these, so that's always nice. Next up, what I plan on reading after that, I got 3 books here. This one I got maybe 2 weeks ago. The used library, at the library used book sale. That was The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. It's a chunker. It's a big one. One more time what it's about. The Barnes family's in trouble. Dickie's once lucrative car business is going under, but Dickie is spending his days in the woods building an apocalypse-proof bunker with a renegade handyman. His wife, Imelda, is selling off her jewelry on eBay and half-heartedly dodging the attention of fast-talking cattle farmer Big Mike, while their teenage daughter, Cass, formerly top of her class, seems determined to binge drink her way through her final exams. As for 12-year-old PJ, he's on the brink of running away. If you wanted to change this story, how far back would you have to go? To the infamous bee sting that ruined Imelda's wedding day, to the car crash 1 year before Cass was born, all the way back to Dickie at 10 years old, standing in summer garden with his father, learning how to be a real man. The Bee Sting, Paul Murray's exuberant, entertaining new novel, is a tour de force, a portrait of Potcrash Island, a tragicomic family saga, and a dazzling story about the struggle to be good at the end of the world. The Bee Sting. So, these next ones may not be in the order that I'm going over them, but I will definitely be getting to the Bee Sting. So either that will be next, or So Far Gone by Jess Walter. Reese Kinnick has gone off the grid. At Thanksgiving a few years back, a fed-up Reese punched his conspiracy theorist son-in-law in the mouth, chucked his smartphone out a car window, and fled for a cabin in the woods with no one around except a pack of hungry raccoons. Now Kinnick's old life is about to land right back on his crumbling doorstep. Can this failed husband and father, a man who has no internet and a car that barely runs, reemerge into a broken world to track down his missing daughter, to save his precocious grandchildren from the members of a dangerous militia? With the help of his caustic ex-girlfriend, a bipolar retired detective, and his only friend who happens to be furious with him, Kinnick heads off on a wild journey through cultural lunacy and the rubble of a life he thought he'd left behind. So Far Gone is a propulsive, rollicking, razor-sharp, and moving road trip through a fractured nation from a writer who's been called a genius of modern American moment. There's the author, Jess Walter. I think you can see that. Sun's very bright. So I picked that up yesterday. And then the other one I picked up yesterday as well. Reading more about Charlie Munger. Don't worry, it's not going to be another finance book. But reading about him, one of his biggest inspirations was Benjamin Franklin. And Benjamin Franklin is... I think fairly well known of, but I don't really know too much about him specifically. And so, because I'm interested in a lot of things that Charlie Munger talks about and refers back to Ben Franklin on, I picked up Ben Franklin by Walter Isaacson. I really liked his book on Steve Jobs. I think there's something else I read by him as well, but I figured I'd pick that one up and read some of that at some point. So that's it. Those are the reading plans for this upcoming week. No, I don't expect to finish all of that, but what I'll probably do is read this one first, and then I'll decide from there if I feel like a biography or another fiction story. Either way, I'll be getting those books done in the coming weeks. But that's it. That's all I got. Gonna throw some food on the grill, eat, shower, go visit the in-laws, and I have to finish an online CPR and first aid class for work. So I'll squeeze that in at some point, and I'll bring over a book to read as well. Man, each day is off. Keep getting busier and busier. Anyways, all right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Happy 4th. Bye.